Good morning, good morning, good morning. This will be Tuesday for you guys. And we are here with Jolene and AJeweldDesign. And we have a new kit. I apologize, we were doing so good 3 weeks in a row and I had to miss last week. This kit is a totally action of love and collaboration and so much excitement, right? We're super stoked about it. I got to collaborate really closely with Vintage Paper Girl. We wanted to try our hand at sort of the whole baked goods recipe cookie book type journal feel, right? And we wanted a retro one, and we were going to go a little bit more brighter than some of the others. I can't say brighter. Some go bright, some go shabby, some go one side or the other. So we kept to our sort of pinky shabby, pink teal, pink green, pink blue. Kept it a little brighter, got the geometrics in there. Oh no, but we had a blast. And the problem was I literally finished this kit Monday night of last week. And there was no way I could get a good video in for you guys for Tuesday morning. And I didn't want to overwhelm everybody either. I'm trying to keep the larger kits so like every 2 weeks when I release them, get them out to my PR team. Like, it's just I don't overwhelm you. I could get kit after kit after kit. And, so hopefully you've been enjoying the Mother's Victorian Roses. Hopefully you've been enjoying the Victorian Garden Stroll. And now our newest creation, as I said, I collaborated with Vintage Paper Girl, is our Retro Sweet Treats. It is a collection. There are there'll be 3 listings, so 3 different sets to take care of all of your journaling needs. So today we're going to start off with the Pages and Papers, which is its first kit. And we're going to move everything off to the side so that you can see it nice and cleanly. I am out a little farther than usual because I didn't want to take a chance of things shifting and you guys not being able to see everything. So I'm hoping I can stay right in the middle and all goes well. So I'm just double checking as we go. So this is my marker, making sure hopefully the screen doesn't go below that. And I have a cute little hippo my daughter made up there, so I know not to go above that. And my coffee, of course. Gotta sit and have your coffee while we reveal the kit. So, okay, so we have Pages and Papers. And I did this time around a very clean cut. Here you go. Obvious front and back pages so that you had for every page you had your right side decor, layering, cutest, goodies on the corner. And then the other side was allowed you to do your pockets, did your tags, your tucks, and I have so many cute things for that. So we'll show you that later. Now, each one of these was backed with one of the lighter papers, whether it was a 2-up paper, whether it was a lightweight, and I went ahead and did it that way. So you do have papers to nicely back these pages with so that you have your journaling capabilities, okay? Because we had a little journal on these things. We want to write down our mom's favorite recipe or copy over it or glue it on or whatever you want to do to sort of keep your favorite sweets recipes, intact. You need room to do so, right? And not feel like, oh my God, I'm covering this all up where I don't want to. So then we have our second page and we have sprinkles. Of course, you have to have sprinkles on your cupcakes, right? Doilies. That was the fun thing. Instead of doing a lot of lace that we've been doing with a lot of the vintage and the Victorian, we got to play with doilies because in every cupcake box, every cake box, you had doilies underneath it, right? And then on the table, it wasn't so much a doily, it was a crocheted or knitted, lace looking tablecloth. So either way, this was fun to be able to bring these back in. I haven't really been using doilies very much, but so it was nice to put those back in. Now this is one of the this is the second background paper. It's really pale, really light. You will see it a little bit brighter later in one of the pages, but it is very nice and pale. Barely decored peach. Again, great for journaling on. We have our teal. More, these were actually table of content pages out of an old cookbook. And so I had fun with that because it had these cute images in the background. It had words. These are all baked goods. So I thought it was fitting for all these sweet treats that we're doing. We have our polka dots, right? You have to have your polka dots. I have a little kid, coffee, donuts, cupcakes, roses, recipe cards. Had to have it all in there. So there's the pink one to the yellow. As you can see in here, this one you can see a little better. where you can see all the cute little guys, you know, the soup cans and the things you'd find in your pantry and the things that you would need for cooking, right? So this one is in the tealy blue, it's in the yellow, and it's in the pink. So you have those three plus the cream one as background. So you have 4 backgrounds in the back of this kit for your needs, right? And so I just went ahead and printed like 4 sets of 4 and then just randomly backed each page. Keeps it fun, right? So then there's the pink one all decked out with our phalanx. I love these images. We have our checkered in blue. So you have to have your checkered napkin look. So yeah, it was doilies and napkins and tablecloth sort of, you know, patterns that were a huge hit in this kit. Our cherries being the cherry pie fillings. And with that teal ended up, so there's a teal one. We're gonna end up on the back of that one. Okay. Great for a little darker journal. So then there's the yellow in place with the pink checks. Like I said, the doily was really cute. We sort of made it look like a tablecloth. And so she's, you know, we have our ladies sitting in the kitchen and doing their fun, you know, cooking. These were the greatest images that I put on them. So then I did some background pattern papers, so a little bit more wallpapery-ness. So we have our goodies, and we have the green, and we have our cherries, which have the same backings as everything else. I did a pink one with the sweet treats. We have these little, I don't know if they're square, like brownie cubes or cake cubes, but there's hundreds of colors of these. They're super cute. Cookies, cupcakes, all the goodies, more polka dots. And then we have the roses that were on the top of the cupcake that I pulled out. We have the strawberries. And then we have a fun teal striped pattern back here for some more texture. Came up with then a cute, then we get into sort of a fabric-y feel, I guess, or pattern feel. Or these are a little bit more decorative, like full paper decorative, to fold in with your pages to give you something else to break up, you know, this exact sameness. You have your right side decor, you have your pattern papers, and then you have these. They remind me of fabrics. They do. They remind me of fabric patterns. I guess fabric patterns. And I went ahead and, you know, so you bake me crazy. So you get that horizontally for an easy fold. It could be a great cover. It could be a good, you know, signature piece in the middle. I just thought it was really pretty with the teal. We don't have a lot of it in here. So I thought it would be great as a background. And again, all these fun little cake slices and the cubes and the cupcakes. Then I did, this was sort of fashioned after a piece of fabric that had these huge retro clusters that had this sort of wavy feel. And I went ahead and just sort of created my own image. Again, this could be folded in half. This could be trimmed. This could be a lot of things, right? You could fold it in half. You've right here down the middle as your spine. And the nice thing is this goes, you know, either way. You know, you can flip around this way. There you go. See? Flat here, spine goes towards the back. This was really cute. Okay? I really loved how this one came out. This was really cute. So, that's a great another page to play with or cut it apart and make them belly bands. You could totally cut this apart, cut them out, and you could make them a belly band. You could make it an edge tuck, or, you know, glue it to the edge so for tucking stuff in. So that was a good piece that had a lot of potential. Then I went for circles. There's a lot of hexagons going on right now, and I didn't want to feel like a complete copycat. So I went ahead and did circles with this sort of natural voided diamond in it and put all my favorite pieces in it, right? We have all of our base pieces with some extra geometrics just to keep it going. And we have all the patterns, of course, that I had created. So that's a nice, fun little piece that, again, if you folded it, you do have, you bake me crazy right on the end there. So it is a great piece that can be signature, can be cover, can be just about anything. And then last but not least, I sort of took a lot of the fun things I created and made like a quilted patchwork paper. And so you can see, you know, the little stitch work as if I sort of quilted together all my favorite patterns. And then sort of as a bonus, your page 17 is the same horizontal one, but now turned vertical. If you like turning things sideways, you want to cut these squares up and do something else with it, but hate to lose the paper you have. You can now cut these up for little squares, make them tiny little journal cards, use them for layering. But, you know, page 17 is sort of a bonus piece and gives you a vertical version of the horizontal design. So I kept creating it this way and went, what are you doing? When you turn it, then you're like, it's sort of sideways, which we do it with Edith Holden's. We do it with all kinds of other magazine books that are too big or pages. We turn it sideways. We don't care. It sort of gives it some character. But I figured this would be a great way to give you a little extra something, whether to cut it up, to whether to turn it sideways, fold it in thirds. This one, even if you fold it in thirds, though, you drive me crazy is upside down. I didn't think about that. But I don't know. Yeah, that would be, do a trifold. Unless you do it just right when you trifold, it would be sort of big. You would go this way with it, and you would have it on the back. So you could make it a trifold. Careful, it's my good copy. We'll play with that on the other one. It is definitely, it could be folded. Here's a flap, and leave it sort of as a wider trifold. Clutch, pocket, envelope. This would be fun to actually make that with. I didn't think about that till right now. See? Great ideas already in mind. So it has a lot of potential, and I didn't want to give you that option. So there are 17 total pages, papers, and backgrounds in this retro suite kit. So the retro suite kit, pages and papers. So that's set or kit number 1. Okay. And then we go into, let's see, maybe we'll do this one. Then we have 7 pages of retro sweet treat fussy cuts. Fussy cuts, die cuts, stickers, whatever you want to call them. These are all the little things that you're going to help layer onto, right? These are all the little pieces you're going to cut, and you're going to layer on the cards, layer on your tucks, layer on your pockets. And I decided that we were going to give you a variety of things to play with. And so we have the first page of this retro sweet treat fussy cut, and it is all the clusters exactly as they are. Just making sure. In the papers, right? So however I clustered them on the papers, I went ahead and gave you, medium and small size versions of them. So you had that continuous feel throughout anything. And you're not big into the papers, but you like the fussy cuts, and you decide you like the ephemera, you didn't lose out on some of these really pretty pieces, right? So yeah, and some of them also are opposite. Like I realized that when I did this, we had made some changes to the papers, and these images are actually opposite of what's on the paper. So some of them you got exact, and I think these I didn't flip it back around. These actually face the other way on the paper. So you get some difference, which is great. I don't like going, what if I want to put on this side and I want it more heavy towards the left than the right. So I'm giving you guys those options if I can. If writing will allow me to do so. So that's page 1. Page 2 is then this kit. This is what bounces off the... So each one has its page. Like each page has its sort of thing. So that was this page, right? And there's a whole set of imagery that came with this one that I found. All these images had like sets that we worked with, and so we took the ones we really liked, and we worked and we shared. But there was always more to that set that I just could not use everywhere, right? So here, maybe I'll combine the two so you can see which pages had which things. So I went ahead and shared everything, right? From good 2 to 3 inch sizes down to our tiny little, 1.5 by 1.5 inch size elements. So you had stuff to play with that one. Oh, then those are the little squares. So those are the ones that were on the pink fussy paper, or the pink decor paper. See, that's these guys in the pink decor paper, and then they're on one of the fabric squirrely pages, right? So these are fun. That's actually upside down. So I made them really small for you guys. I don't know how I designed this. I'm trying to think about it. It looks like it's back. Oh, that's how I designed. I'm like, how did I design this? So we got them good size, 1.5 to almost 2 inches here, down to the 1.5, and then down to like close to the 1 inch. So you have plenty of sizes for these little squares, which is great because sometimes either you have all squares, all circles, and not enough of in between. So we have a lot of fussy cuts where you have all these great different shapes, but you definitely have an obvious like square element to help with your, 3 of something to give you another shape in there. And these were just the cutest things. Oh my gosh. But it pulled to the blue, the teal, the pink, the yellow, the chocolate. It was a great in the pink. So it was a great source for all of those. So there's 5 colors and all the cute designs. Oh, then we have our ladies. This was on the yellow kit with the yellow page and the pink. See, that was on this one. So that's where that came from, right? Again, now those items, there wasn't much else. I mean, you saw, I think the only one we didn't use was her, but I thought I'd give it to her if she fell into a spot that you liked and worked for you, you had the opportunity to have her. So you have them pretty good size, definitely for the front of something, for a large tag, a large belly band, cover, or whatever. And then, you know, we get smaller as we go. And you have some of these a little bit bigger to play with. We've got the cupcakes, which of course went with page number 2. And again, in the pattern papers in the back, and you'll see it a lot actually in the fussy cut, in the ephemera, not fussy cuts. These are fussy cuts. But I went for as small as I could into that little 1-inch mark, right? Into our 1.5 into the 2. So you can cut these apart, except you'll lose a little bit of this guy. But if you were layering it, it wouldn't matter. If you really needed another pink one, you could just trim it out, layer something also in front of it, just like we did here, and you have plenty of options to really, you know, utilize. I love this little one. I don't know why. It's so cute with the green and the pink on the top. So these are really fun. And then we have our cake, or pie slices, I guess. So it looks like pumpkin. It's really dark, but it's pumpkin and chocolate, and like looks like angel food cake, but with cherry topping on it, and then of course a cherry pie. So this was fun for its, and yes, they're upside down. It's just sort of how it fit the thing, but not for you. Like you can turn it around and it's perfectly good. It's the joy of fussy cuts. They can go in all directions. Once you cut them, you put them in whatever size you need. So I got really large, medium, and definitely small on these guys, because this could be really fun to layer up off of. So, and then we have the more teal, which we have the one page where we have the donut and the pink coffee cup, the donut, the cupcake, right, the recipe card. So here you get everything that came when I found it. We got a tea mug. You know, we have this coffee mug that didn't make it in. I could try it a few times, but she never made it where we expected her to. So I went with that. But there's a teal version. And then there's this cute coffee mug with a plate. And then there's the tea mug. You know, and this was a great for if you want some brighter teal and pinks in your sweet treat kit. This is a great page of fussy cuts. So this is the sweet treats fussy cuts. Are 7 pages, plenty to play with. Especially if you want to sort of lean one way or another. You have 6 pages of options to decide where you want to concentrate your sweet treats into, right? And your ladies even. And then the clusters that go with the pages. So that is a good help. And then there is 12 pages of ephemera. So this will be the Sweet Treats ephemera kit or set. And it is a good size kit. But this was a lot of fun because I felt with the ephemera and the pages, there were certain things that definitely the pages translated into certain elements and objects in here to make this feel like a recipe of sweet treats, right? A journaling of recipes and memories and just things to sort of when it came to all the sweet treats and the great smells that you had when you were growing up. You smelled cookies, you knew it was weekend, or you knew that you aced a test, or sweet treats were, you know, maybe what mom made to make you feel better after a bad day, or who knows what the memories are, right? But it's amazing how scent, you know, triggers memories. And what do we have with these? And we want to keep them really precious. So the first 2 pages of your kit do go back to back if you can get it. Each printer, including mine, is a little temperamental. But the pages are separate. So you have the front of your 4-up journal cards that I always do. And then you have the ability to print this recipe card journaling space on the back. Okay. Now, I had a hard time with mine. I don't know what the deal was with it, but I printed page 1, pulled it out, put it back in, so it's top to top, right? And printed the second page. And this is how it turns out. It actually does really well. You can't tell, but if you put it up to the light, it does line up nicely. Yes, I have it right here where it needs to be. But it was the only way I could do it. If I printed them separately and put one in, pulled it out, put it back in, and printed it again. I don't know why. Now, every program's different how you preview it. So try printing it back to back, double-sided on the long edge, and see how it does. But only try once. If it doesn't line up for you, you cut it and it's all out of whack, then print page 1, put it back in, print page 2, and then you're good to go, right? But I can't wait to cut these up and use them because I think they're going to be great to put in pockets and stuff to be able to write either your favorite recipes or favorite memory. Your recipe could be a memory, a recipe memory. And then you could jot down a journal moment on the back of these lovely cards, right? Okay. So that was my first thought. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't just leave you guys with these big old journal cards. Let's do something really fun on the back of them. And there is a reminder on page 2. I guess so you can print them on the back of page 1. So you have that automatic large journal card. Otherwise, put your favorite thing on the back of these journal cards. I print these multiple times, so you have both as your standard journal cards, you have your recipe journal cards, any and however you feel you need to use those. Then I did change up my envelopes. I decided we were going to go with a four flap envelope, which the small ones fit our small cards, and then I have a large one that fits these cards. I made sure if everything is printed the same way, you print everything fit to print, or you print everything actual size, everything should fit. So be careful that you make sure this whole kit is printed the exact same way, so everything stays in proportion. Not that you can't trim these down a little bit if you actually had to. There's room everywhere to do so until you print the back. Then that might get a little tricky, but it still has some room to do that too. But all my cards will fit within its appropriate envelope. I kept them more rectangle than square, which is why they look a little cockeyed, but I promise when you cut them, you take the notches out. They fold up really cute, and I'll show you in a little bit. I have some of this stuff actually cut out, ready to go. We're going to play with it at the end here. But this is my clean copy that I send off to our PR group. So, I want to make sure she has it the way she needs it. So then I've been working on those corner pockets, right? They face two different directions, and you could sort of line them up, but I knew it was sort of tricky. You would lose an image on one side or the other. So this time, I definitely made sure that the back one, label B, or stackable pocket B, was high enough to allow one, of course, as a pattern, so it didn't interfere with your front one. And so you have a front and back 2-pocket stackable rectangular pocket set, which we'll work on in a little bit. That's really cute. Then, we're talking about that one piece of fabric that had the 3 scallopy sides, right? And I thought, those would be really cute as belly bands. And they're even cute, like I said, if you just wanted to glue it to the edge of a paper and make it a tuck. But what if we doubled up on them and we folded them down the middle and made it over the edge paper tuck? I guess it's over the edge paper tuck, right? You fold it over the edge of the paper, it goes on both sides, you glue it down just right, and you can tuck it. You can glue here and here on both sides, so it's a perfect tuck. It covers over the edge, you can put a paper clip. I mean, so many things. So we will cut one of these up here next, so you can see how it pans out. But this Evolve, that piece of fabric duplicate that I was working on for Pretty Designs and sort of a paper and a tuck, turned into that over the edge paper tuck that we can create. And then with each one of these, I gave you sort of like a belly band and another fussy cut, because I can't wait. I mean, we don't want to waste paper. If we're going to print the ink, let's print the ink and make the most of the piece of paper. Then I came out with some cute square journal cards. Again, it has lines on it for you to write on it, but you also have the plain back on it. You can decorate these up. I put little cute color in the corners when your recipe cards on the back of the large ones are brown in the corner. They're all sort of duotone. So if you just bought the Ephemera kit, you do get some Fussy's cuts in them, things that we didn't use as often, so just sort of balance everything out. Found this cute pastry pie filling, which we used parts of it in the graphics, but I gave it to you as a sort of an unusual size, larger journal card, more washi tape. My 2 pockets that we use, my rectangular pockets with its little scallops or thumb tucks. Oh, it's raining out. I'm like, yep, yay. So I film ahead even for, like say this Tuesday morning that you're watching this. I'm filming this last week, and when I finally got this all done, and we actually got some more rain that last week, which was great. So okay, so yeah, so there's that. So we have square journal cards. We have a large journal card you can write on the back of, a washi tape, and the 2 pockets with some more fussies. Then I have my normal 6-up that I always do. I took again one of the lovely scallops. I made it a belly band, a little more narrow belly band. But you see it here. So here's like the fabric corner piece. Again, you can make it small strips. You could leave it as a card. But this had a lot of fun. This led to a lot of pieces. These are all super cute. I didn't do it on purpose, but when I went to go put the graphic in, it had a little bit of the half paper show. I'm not used to that, right? I'm used to the whole background just sort of blending over to the side. And I thought it was sort of cute for something different. You had your corners, but you also had sort of this little strip on the end, just for more dimension to help you lay, because then you could layer up here, and it's 1, 2, 3 right off the bat, right? Or you got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then one more piece. You got your set of 5. So great way to decorate up some cards. But I couldn't decide. I mean, those are my 5 pages, but I couldn't just do that because I like lately trying to give you guys some more base pieces to really layer up on. And so you have 6 more of these coming. So this is number 2. This is that solid hot pink. We can just barely see the line, and you're going to fold it down the middle, and it's going to be a really good pop on a page. So there's another washi band and a fussy. Washi band. Belly band. 2 more belly bands, the large ones, to keep the patterns going. And then a cute little file folder cover. So if you wanted to make yourself a small little mini recipe book or memoir or small journal, you have the cover to put your papers in. You could probably, let's see, I don't know. I think the journal cards are too big. Nope, the journal cards would just fit in there. So like if you wanted to take these, leave them like we did with the mini ones, is you cut them in half, maybe trim a little off the top and fold these in half inside of here. You could back these and have a really stout like file folder. And there's a file folder, but what's the word? Oh, like a Rolodex. Like you could make this really thick Rolodex-y, file foldery recipe mini journal book. Would be a lot of fun. I have to think about that. Now I'm like, I think I'm going to be making a lot of small pieces from this kit. I don't know if I'll make a full journal, but I definitely have a lot of printouts. When we were doing this, I printed things over and over and over. So I will play with something a little different from you guys, because I'll have some of the pieces that didn't make it to you that I tweaked and we made better. But oh my gosh, right? So this is gonna be a lot of fun to work with. So there's your file folder and plenty of options. Right. You could make your pockets, and you could put the smaller 6-up journal cards in here, which is always super cute. So then there's number 3 of our scallopy over the page tucks, another belly band and some more fussies. This one's cute too. You just cut, you don't cut, but you just fold just down the middle in there. Now this would be really cute actually over depending on what paper you printed it on, but maybe on a lighter paper, because these are all on cardstock. Oh, it's actually presentation paper, but it's technically a lightweight cardstock. This on a lighter page, or a lighter piece of paper, could be nice. I don't know if you can Mod Podge it without running the ink, but this would be great on the spine of a cover. This would be super cute. Oh my gosh, you cut right in here, you fold it down the middle, and you put it on the outside cover of a book, of a journal page. That'd be really cute. Instead of using lace or doilies, this would be a really cute way to sort of decorate it. But any one of them, any 3 of those would be great on the edge of a journal. So then there's your second set of 6-up journal cards. So this is, they're a little smaller, fit in almost every pocket. So I decided to use my pattern papers that I created and put them in the back of these. So you either have the pages represented or the papers, which is cute. And then more washi tape. I had a lot of fun with cupcakes. My sweet treats are either candy or cupcakes, I guess. So you both have so you do have finally a vertical journal card. I know a lot of time we go horizontal with things, but that would be vertical. That can be, not that one. These 2 can be vertical. That can be vertical. That, because if you turn this one that way, then the cherries are still sort of upright. So this gave you a little bit more vertical journal cards and not all horizontal, because that's very horizontal. That probably horizontal. That's horizontal. And all the other little ones are definitely horizontal because everything faces a certain way. You get on a rhythm when you lay it out, paginate it out, just the size, you forget that you need to turn things every so often, unless the graphic's very obvious and you're like, well, duh, I need to turn it, So it's more of a portrait shape than landscape. And there's our second little envelope, which was really cute. So this one definitely, that is, the mailing side, I guess, of the card. The front flap the front of the envelope, you have your 4 flaps that fold in, which I'll show you guys those in a moment. And, we've got this sort of placement for that, your Bake Me Crazy set. We got some labels. So I did give you a couple labels here with the borders on it. You have your tabs in case you need to, being a book, we want to make sure that these may be cute on some of the pages where you want to divide your journal into sections, or maybe if you do multiple signatures, each signature, first page or second page of each signature, you'll have a tab on it. So you know where your signatures start. My flags here, went them a little bit longer. So I stretched them out a little bit, but gave you a little bit more layering in them. Okay, and then there's a large one. And this is the one that I said will fit your large journal cards. I made sure. But, printers shrink, and it's how you cut it. So there is a little bit of room, like I said, to trim down your journal cards. Depends if you're one who folds in a little farther or folds out a little farther. Do your best to try to stay within the line, but I try to make the line as thin as I could. We do always, and then find some pink or your teal favorite distressed ink to sort of help cover that line. But otherwise, without it, it looked like an odd square. So I was like, no, you sort of need to know that's your favorite template. for your 4-flap envelope. And that, again, that will fit the larger journal cards. And of course, a washi tape on the bottom there, just to keep the rhythm going with our trying not to waste ink or waste paper when there's all this ink, right? Plus, if you back it, when you back these for your needs, you have an extra strip here actually. So you may back it and you have this on both sides, and then you may have whatever you backed it on with the white on this end. So, as a washi tape, you can lay it right down and you don't lose. There's actually other spots. There's spots for 2 washi tape for whatever's on the back. Your little washi. So say if you put that pink background on it, then that excess, if you're smart, when you're not smart, but well, we're all smart, but when we cut this stuff off, you will have that excess on the back. So don't waste it. We'll look for the white here on this side, knowing you have that pink on the back side. So you just gained yourself two new washi strips. So I don't ever, especially like even here, like this whole gap right here, this whole thing up here is a nice belly band from the back side. And if you're flipping it over and you're laying it down really good, it's on cardstock, you shouldn't see, you won't even see that when you lay it down with ink on top of this. You won't see whatever what you'll have flipped on here. So no paper ever wasted. Paper's never wasted, especially when we print ink on the back. That's how I got my strips for some of my projects. That's where my strips come for all the weaving projects and stuff. It is the back side when I'm doing all the, we want the inside of the envelope to have something besides just white. And so when you're printing on the back, you have all this white space on this side, but it is inked on that side. So we put it all to good use, right? Okay, so we have the Retro Sweet Treats Ephemera. We have the Retro Sweet Treats Fussy Cuts. And then the Retro Sweet Treats Pages and Papers. So there'll be 3 different sets coming out. Technically, so this is airing for you on Tuesday the 16th. Then it should already be out on Etsy this morning for you guys also. So I'm going to get a bit of coffee. My throat is a little off. Talk among yourselves for just a second. But yeah, sorry. So sorry. Okay. Yeah, needed the liquid, but apparently I was drier than I thought. So this is the wonderful kit. So here's what I wanted to do. You can turn off now, totally up to you, or you can play along with me for just a few more minutes. I wanted to show you guys some of these fun things that we were talking about in the ephemera kit. In person. No, they're not exactly perfect. I may have tweaked them a little bit. You guys are getting the clean copies, of course, in here, but I wanted to show you. So I got to put it in my folder to go out to my lovely lady who is my guardian, my little angel there, who's been a huge help. So I wanted to play with these guys and show you what they look like in person, right? Because why not? So maybe we'll do this one. Okay, so the nice things with these, so let's fold some of these up. I used the pages that were pretty close to what you guys got, so you're not looking at it completely confused, going, why is that background different? These are missing their doilies that we added onto it, but that's about it. But the base pieces are there. We had a lot of fun. We did a lot of things where I would work on something and I'd print it up, and then, Vintage Paper Girl would come over and we'd be like, okay, no, wait, let's do this, or that's almost close, or what if we do that? There we go. So we're going to trim it up. I am going to give it a little bit of an edge on these just for now. Just so we see they're nice clean edges and not the whites, and see how they do. But yeah, in the process, another reason I couldn't get a video down is I was printing I was finally printing the ephemera. I had it all fixed. We had it all tweaked because I created the ephemera, and then we had to make changes. We got a little crazy with some of the pages, and so I have to, the way I do things all linked together, and I had to change everything and make it done. So I finally get it all done. I go to print it, and come to find out, I don't have anything on these. My printer is starting to malfunction. It's been making noise. I had moved it to work on a quilt. Well, I can't even say that. I had it down and brought it up for some reason. Oh, to do some scan work. That's right. I had to do some scan work for this lovely kit, and I brought it up onto my top of my table, which is great. But it seemed to be making some odd noise. And, but, it ended up running out of ink, and it needed to be aligned, and I got an update, and moved it back into its original spot, and I got through the papers, I got through the fussy cuts, and then Monday night I'm printing the ephemera, and there's lines everywhere. There's lines, there's ink splotches, which For me, I guess I could get away with it and figure out how to deal with it. But when you're putting together PR packets for, you know, people who are super sweet and are wanting to share your work and all your new designs, you want them to have the best copy. And for you guys too, like, I want you guys to see on my videos the best quality I can possibly provide, because I don't want you to think like, oh, well, it's all goofed up and, well, why would I want that? But we all have problems, right? We all have printer problems. Oh my goodness. So I was so frustrated. So that put me behind schedule too. So I had to wait, and luckily, Vintage Paper Girl was like, oh, just, you know, I just got the kit. It looks great. I'll print it out for you. So you have clean copies. I'm like, oh, thank you. Oh, I was so frustrated. So that's why you are definitely, you know, that's why it's a week behind schedule from what I've been doing. I mean, I'm not really a week behind where everything works just fine, but in the sense of what you guys get to see, like, yeah, I was hoping for last week, and but there's so much going on. It's okay. So anyway, I went ahead and trimmed all these. So when they're folded, this is what you would see on the right side of your paper. So if we stuck one inside the other, technically would have these would have, you know, of course, one of the lovely background papers on the inside. When you're flipping through, you have all your fun stuff in between, and here's what we see, right? Oh, isn't this pretty? Isn't this cute? And then on the flip side, when you got past your signature, you would then have, you know, all these lovely pattern papers here. And you definitely want to break them up with my pattern papers, or with my, you know, like, well, this is geometric pattern papers, but break it up with the fabric-y looking fabric papers, with the more geometric, fully designed pages. And, you know, and then you put your ledgers, your coffee dyed paper for sure, because coffee and tea go with all goodies, right? Hot chocolate, whatever. But yeah, get your papers in here, get your ledgers, get your vintage pieces, and really break this up. And this is going to be a really great journal for anyone. But here's what I want to show you. So on any one of these, this is a stackable corner rectangle pocket, right? And I did design it to where, so if you put it on the outside, put it down, okay? And then line it up where you can either line it up either way. You can either line the yellow up with the pink and have it overlap over here, but I would probably suggest lining it up on the right side, if you can see that, so that you know that this one is going to tuck and glue down cleanly. You can glue this down the outside and gives this a little bit more width. And then these are sort of botched up. This is what problems I was having, but the large ones should fit. I hope they do. Oh, wow. Yeah, I didn't make that big enough. Well, I love when I find out issues. That's the thing is I'm so glad I pre-do things with you guys. I'm technically viewing ahead of time. So by the time you see this, time you guys order the kit, you would never know the problems are. But the goal is to put your journal card in here, and then put, I don't have a little one. This is the same size, right? And then you can put the smaller journal card in there. And anything else you wanted, right? So both little and big journal cards will fit in there when I'm done, I promise. I will fix that. But, or anything else, yeah, whatever you do, like whatever you want to put your pockets in, whether you already have, you know, recipe cards that you want to put in there. But I thought this would be a cute double pocket, stackable. You could put this on a bigger piece of paper, on a bigger tag, and lay it in that way. But it gave you some dimension and layers. Probably could have gone one more, but I haven't attempted that. Maybe that'll be on my next kit. I'll put a third pocket so you can diagonally stack pockets instead of just your standard like horizontal look. I like changing new things. It's probably not new. I probably saw it somewhere, and I'm just now retrieving it, thinking it's my own idea. I'll never say it is for sure, but I thought it was adorable. So we have those, right, to put on here. These are the cute little envelopes, right? Oh, now it does happen to be just right when you fold it that there is a, you know, a certain way where you're like, oh look, it's upright horizontal, and here's your cards, right? Oh, these are the ones that fit the little cards. Super cute. I didn't get a chance to put the brown one yet. Or I probably do. It's probably had lines in it though. Let's see. Where is my set? I didn't even think to bring those out. I'm like, I have the brown ones. I guess we could cut it up real quick and see how the brown one turns out. One sec, guys. Yeah, the folder's sort of full of make-believe. But that page doesn't look too bad. Oh, there it is. Yeah, so you can see sort of what my printer did. And, you know, I created lines this way, but I've got lines in the printers going this way. And in some things it shows up, there's word smudge lines in these and in here. It almost looks like it goes, but, oh, it's frustrating. Oh, so frustrating. I promise you guys won't have that problem. You will not have that problem. I just have that problem. But I don't waste paper, so I'll probably make it work, and I'll goof around with it, with all this stuff for me, and so I'll try not to get out of the camera here. Let's make sure we're still on camera even at that. No. Okay, good. Let's make sure I haven't lost you guys completely. Okay, so those are the little goodies. So let's cut this one up so you can sort of see. It was really weird. I was sort of basing it off someone else's, and you know, it's this perfect square in the corner, and I'm like, okay. But I wanted to make sure that the journal cards and that I make, you know, my size fit in the envelopes. So, because that's what you're going to put in there. You're going to deck out your journal cards, and that's what you're going to put in your envelopes. That's what most do. Journal cards are either full of tags or full of envelopes. So, but go along the line and cut down pretty flat. Be very careful because I think it does shift just a little bit. But again, these are backed. And so here you have all these perfectly good, you know, scraps. So then you just go back in and you look for the little notches. And there's little triangle notches here that help indicate each flap. And that's where I don't cut very well. So you're going to want to adjust a little bit, especially once you fold it, trim it down.